Welcome to the Sharp Way Show. Yes, we are here 7 p.m. on the East Coast, and I'm back. I was away for a couple of days. For those of you who do not know, I was away in upstate New York. Well, kind of upstate. Certain parts were upstate, certain parts were not so upstate. But I was not in New York City, New York. That's accurate. Did 4 stops, and I did my final 4. Yes, the final 4, stop number 59, 60, 61, and 62. We are now done. We have completed the full Sharp for the 4th year in a row. Yes, every year for 4 years, I've crossed this state and touched every single county in the state. It's finally done for this year. It's December. We'll restart it again next year. So yes, we'll go for a 5th time next year to see if we can make that happen yet again. So while I'm running around New York State, I see a lot of people talking about problems that they're concerned about. Some of you probably watched me have conversations with a lot of New Yorkers in a lot of areas. We had a lot of very good conversations with, lots of events that had 20, 30, 40, 50 people in them. So it was great. Very happy how that worked. But people are talking about what's happened in New York City. My mayor, Baron von Wilhelm Deblasio, he has decided that he wants to do more stuff in New York. He's leaving in like a month. And he's like, I don't care. Lame duck. That's for chumps. I can control you for like 45 more days or something. I will control you for 45 days. I'm going to control you till the end, no matter what. This man is happy about his power, and he thinks he's saving the world. And great. The best part is he thinks he's going to run for governor and save the state, I guess. So of all the things that are happening in New York State, I guess this is the most important thing. Here is what he said. I think you'll enjoy or not, but either way, whether you enjoy or not, there are some very important pieces to this. The way he thinks, and even more importantly, the way New Yorkers think, the way New York City people think. This is important to watch and listen to.
We are very, very carefully monitoring the latest news about the Omicron variant. And meanwhile, we're still fighting the central battle, which is against the Delta variant. So a lot going on. We're going to have some updates for you today because we need to take very bold action, aggressive action.
We got to take bold and aggressive action because there's been like 0 deaths from Omicron and like absolutely not even any severe cases. So aggressive action because
to address these new threats, it's Omicron, it's cold weather, which we know.
Cold weather. I mean, yeah, we've never had that before. So we got to act on that one. These are threats to us. Cold weather and Omicron. Omicron, no severe cases, and cold weather.
Presents a real challenge with COVID in every form. It's the holiday gatherings coming up. There's a lot going on, and what we're seeing.
Holiday, that's another threat. He literally listed holiday gatherings as a threat. I'm not joking. He just listed holiday gatherings. What a threat that is. You're all going to die. Holiday gatherings, threat.
Seeing now in other parts of the world, and this is really an area of tremendous concern, we're seeing restrictions starting to come back. We're seeing shutdowns. Look at Germany right now. Such a strong nation in so many ways. But
yeah, you do think they're a strong nation in so many ways, don't you, Mr. Wilhelm?
The situation there has gotten to a really troubling place. So now they're reinstating a lot of restrictions that we all hoped were part of the past. We cannot let those restrictions come back. We cannot have shutdowns here in New York City.
They just happen magically.
Forward.
Who does
and
that?
The answer, as always, is to use the things that work. Vaccination works, and vaccine mandates work.
That's the issue. Mandates work. You guys, new libertarians, act like they don't work. He's just said it. That's the issue. I mean, New York's got to be like, when it comes to deaths, got to be like 50th. Oh, no. Well, like 7th. Well, it's okay. I'm sure a state like Florida that had no lockdowns and mandates had way more deaths than us. Nope, about the same. Yeah. Last 7 days, New York's had about 300 deaths, I think, of COVID. Florida, like 20. Something like that. I could be off. Could be 20, 25, something like that. But Florida's got like 20 deaths. New York has like 300. Same amount of people. And you go, well, density, population density, about the same. Even age, demographics of people, similar. They have a higher, older population than us, which is worse. But we do have a higher Black population. They have a higher Hispanic population. But very close. Yeah.
The bottom line. So, look, we're working closely with the state government, with the federal government. We're all united, common front to fight COVID.
Common front.
And that cooperation is tremendously important.
So important.
But we also know Omicron is here.
It is.
No debate about it anymore.
I'm not debating it.
It doesn't matter if we're only getting a few cases in different states. We know it's here. We know.
Why doesn't that matter? That kind of does matter. Right? The fact that you're only getting a couple of cases and none of them are strong, that kind of does matter. Right? So if you don't know, and so far, I mean, maybe it'll change. I'm open to change, of course. But so far, not even Africa is it deadly. So it's not deadly in Africa. So far, not deadly here. Not many cases. So drastic, extreme, aggressive action.
It's going to spread. It appears to be at this moment very transmissible. We're waiting for more facts and more evidence, but that's what we're seeing so far. What does that mean? You can expect, and I'm sorry to say this, you can expect community spread. We have to assume it's going to be widespread. We have to assume it's going to give us a real challenge. We've been to this.
We don't have to assume it's a real challenge. To be forward, guys, cases doesn't necessarily mean bad. It depends upon, is it deadly or not? There are lots of cases of the common cold. It doesn't mean that's a horrible thing. So let's see why do we have to be aggressive when we don't know how bad this thing's going to be?
Movie before, we've been down this road before. We know what happens when we get a new variant, and particularly one that's highly transmissible. It's not something we can't handle. We have the tools, but we have to use those tools aggressively. And we have to move quickly. And that's why I describe the actions we're taking today as a preemptive strike. Get ahead of this problem.
Yeah, George W. Bush didn't like that. That didn't go well for him, that preemptive strike into Iraq. You think you'd learn? That preemptive strike stuff, it's not great. Not great. You often regret those preemptive strikes. I mean, that's been a common thing for us. Preemptive strikes, we've kind of regretted those most of the time.
Before it deepens, and use the thing that works, vaccination. We can talk about all the other tools, and we will. But vaccination is the central weapon in this war against COVID. It's the one thing that has worked every single time across the board.
It's worked every single time across the board. See that? Every time, Tom. You're getting all uppity about him being clueless. It's worked every single time. Once we started getting vaccinated, everyone lives now. Every vaccinated person lives forever. They're now immortal. It works every single time. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. People still die. People still, oh, yeah, nothing. Yeah. Well, okay, maybe that's not true. Maybe he's completely full of it. But it sounded good. I mean, you got to admit, he was like he even had like the hand going. So it did sound good, even though it was completely not true. It did sound good.
On a strategic level, it's the reason New York City is back in so many ways.
It's the reason. You were wondering. Dan was like, I wonder why New York City is back. Let me tell you, Dan. He's telling you why. Because vaccines. See, now, when people get stabbed, when tourists get stabbed outside of Colombia, when that happens, we're ready and we know whether or not they have COVID. We didn't know that before. Before, when tourists got stabbed, oh, wait, tourists didn't get stabbed that much before. Oh, well, anyway, now when tourists get stabbed and when, PhD students, people who might actually solve something in their life, when they get stabbed to death outside of Colombia, when that happens, we will know if they had COVID or not. New York is back, baby. New York is back, 100%.
And it's the reason we can avoid shutdowns and restrictions. It's more use of vaccination. So that's why we are taking aggressive.
Problem is we don't have enough vaccinations.
Aggressive action today. We are not going back to what happened in 2020. We cannot allow that to happen. We're not going to allow to happen in New York City what's happened.
We're not. I love this. We're not going to allow it to happen. You shut us down. It's not like I walked in and said, that's it, shut it all down. And they went, no, Larry, don't do that. We can't let you. No, we can't let you shut us down. It didn't just happen. You and our former king His Majesty King Andrew Cuomo II, second of his name, you guys shut us down. And then Queen Kathy, first of her name, speaker to the gods, she just continued.
In Germany right now, we cannot let that happen. So, look, bottom line, I've said we have been climbing the ladder. As we have climbed the ladder, good things have happened.
Really?
More and more people have gotten vaccinated.
More people getting killed. More and more children aren't in school. More and more people arrested. More and more people let out of prison. Yeah, I don't. Oh, those aren't good though, are they? Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Okay. Well, I'm trying to find the good things. More inflation, higher gas prices, more people getting fired. Okay, there's some good ones, right?
The city got safer. We were able to.
The city got safer. Did this man just say the city got safer? He just said that. I guess you can just say stuff and it's right. Okay. No, I like it. I'm gonna play the same game with him. Okay, so the city owes me $10 million. Is it true now? Because I said it. Oh no, I gotta say with the hands. Hold on. The city now owes me $10 million. Is it true? Yeah, no, it's not. You can do the hand thing. It's not true. The city is clearly not safer. You just made that up. It's clearly not safer.
Bring back people's livelihoods and jobs and the life of the city. We need to keep.
We can bring them all back by firing all our healthcare workers and police officers. And yeah, I agree.
That going. So today we're going to be announcing some additional measures to keep New Yorkers safe. And I'm going to.
Now, what he just talked about is he said, we're coming back, their livelihoods and stuff. So now we're going to announce some stuff to help out because he wants to help.
Remind everyone, job number one of any mayor, keep people safe.
That is not job number one. You guys know if you want to trigger me, you can. 2 ways of triggering me. 2. Number 1, pineapple on pizza. I'm a New York City kid. Oh yeah, I'm triggered. So that's number 1. But we're not talking pineapple on pizza. The second way that triggers me is when executives, whether they're presidents, whether they're governors, whether they're county executives, whether they are mayors, saying my number 1 job is to keep you safe. No, it is not. It is not in your job description. It is not in your oath. It is nowhere. We did not vote you in to be our dad. You didn't get voted New York City's dad. If I had voted to make you my dad, then maybe you would be correct. No one did. No executive's job is to keep us safe. And how dare you say your number 1 job is to keep us safe? That's not your number. That's not even your number 500 job. Your job is to enforce the law, to protect our rights, and to give us a city where we can thrive and try to pursue happiness. That's your damn job. And that's the one thing you won't do. You're doing none of that. You're doing this, I gotta keep you safe stuff. Okay. Well, then, if you're going to keep us safe, at least, if you're going to keep us safe, can you keep us safe from overdoses, suicide, and getting stabbed to death or shot in broad daylight? Can you do that if you're going to do it? I mean, I don't want you to do any of that, but if you're going to, could you do that at least? That will be better. I mean, less bad. That's what I would like. And no one ever pushes back. I never hear ever, not one reporter go, I'm sorry. And where in your job description is it for you to keep people safe? No one pushes back. The people don't push back. I feel like I'm the only guy who pushes back. I'm sure there are others, but I feel like it's only me. So yeah, I get triggered every time I hear that garbage, because the second they say that, it gives them the right to take away everything else. Because if I can save one New Yorker, I can destroy everybody else. Absolutely. I can destroy everybody else, everything else. Keep you safe. Keep you safe.
This is the biggest crisis, not only of our time, of the history of New York City.
This is the biggest crisis in the history of New York City. COVID. Not the 1919 flu, not the Civil War, not the Revolutionary War. Nope. Not 9/11. Nope. This one. This one. That's the problem. This is the one, the history of New York. Not the revolts that we had. Nope. Not the blackout. Nothing. This is the number one. Why? Because you're here? You're like the governor. It's World War II. This is not World War II, guys. It's just not. It's not World War II.
Cannot let COVID back in the door again. So these measures today will make a big difference. First of all, with the Key to NYC,
tell me,
extremely effective program. It's been
so
respected and emulated around the country. It needs to be more, honestly. It's something that
doesn't go far enough. The Key to New York, making sure you got to show your Vaxport to go inside and go to a gym or restaurant, doesn't go far enough. More. He just said it. Emulated, respected everywhere. Or so he says.
It should be used in more and more places.
Yeah.
But right now, we require all employees and patrons, everyone 12 and up,
12 and up,
to be vaccinated, at least one dose. That's indoor dining, fitness, entertainment. That's worked brilliantly. It's been a tremendous success. There were a lot of concern about it at the beginning. In fact, it is
super successful as you see people go across New Jersey or Long Island or upstate to go eat. So successful. If your goal was to get people to leave New York City and not come back, well, yes, that would be successful. I just don't think that's what I would want to be a success.
There's been an across-the-board success with very few problems. You know, there's been a few challenges, but not many.
If that was true, then why didn't every other county start to adopt the same thing? Why didn't Nassau County adopt it, and Suffolk County, and Westchester, and Ulster, and Orange, and Rockland? Why didn't they all just go, you know what? He's right. Let's all do the Key to Rockland County. Why didn't do that? So successful and emulated and respected.
So we now are going to deepen that effort by requiring all employees and patrons to have from 12 years old and up 2 doses. And that will take effect on December 27th.
All 2 doses. All 2 doses. 12 and up. Your kids too. You can't go shopping with your kid. No movie for you. Because you know what? We're going to bring people's livelihoods back. So let's make it harder for people to enjoy New York. So literally already just happened and still been happening. Tourists are literally being murdered in the streets of New York City in broad daylight in Manhattan. That's a thing. So he thought, you know what? What would make it even less attractive to come to New York City? Besides being murdered in the street, besides being stabbed to death in the streets, what would make it worse? I know. You can't bring your kid here to have fun. Well, if your goal is to make sure nobody comes here, well done. I mean, I think if that's your goal, and I feel like that's your goal, then well done. But my goal would be to make more people want to come here. So I wouldn't say you can't come here unless you're vaccinated. What I would say is I'm going to try to make sure people don't stab you to death.
Because the idea is everyone by that point who has gotten their first dose,
right?
If you've gotten your first dose by now, you're going to be able to get your second dose by then. We got to up the ante here. We want to also encourage folks to get that second dose. Vast majority of New Yorkers do, and that's good news. But we've got to encourage people even more. Get that second dose because that's what gives you so much more protection.
That's what gives you so much more protection. That's what you're safer. Now, so this, see, what you guys are getting mad, and you shouldn't be mad, right? I mean, Dan's mad. Dan, don't be mad. If you get your third dose, then when people stab you, the knife bounces off. You didn't know that. So you thought that if you got a third dose, you could still be stabbed to death. You can't be. That's how powerful the third booster is. You get that, you get stabbed, knife bounces right off. In fact, if you get that and wear a mask, it breaks. The knife will just snap. So what happens?
For all the Key to NYC businesses starting December 27th, employees and customers.
Love it.
And that's going to keep people safe. And we want to see people go out, get those second doses right.
It's going to keep people safe. So let's say you're in a crossfire with 2 gangbangers. Well, it was never 2, 4, because there's always a group. So 4 or 5 gangbangers who are now fighting over some black market thing that we've encouraged. So that's happening now, say in the streets of, say, Brooklyn or the Bronx as an example. And as the bullets are flying, you will be wearing a mask. So I don't know. I guess that works. I don't know. I'm cracking myself up. I don't know. I guess you'll be safe. I guess if you get the booster, I guess the bullets bounce off. I don't know. I guess the bullets bounce off. So you'll be safe. You'll be fine.
Now, if they qualify, remember, with the holidays, with the cold weather, if you haven't gotten your second dose and you qualify, this is exactly the time to get it. You should feel urgency because the challenge of COVID is about to get greater.
That's the problem.
Now,
right there.
Another point on Key to NYC, thinking of the youngest New Yorkers, the vaccination for the 5 to 11-year-olds. It's just begun in the last few weeks. Already
you can get your 5-year-old vax now. See that? How lucky are you?
We've gotten over 127,000 New York City kids in that age range vaccinated. That's great. It's a little over 19% of all the kids in that group. Considering it's brand new, that's good, and it's better than the national rate, but it's not enough, obviously. We need to see a lot more. We need to see kids getting vaccinated in that age group. Parents, we need you to step up for the good of your children, your family, all of us.
For the good of your children. I mean, children are dying left and right of Omicron. Oh, wait, no, none have. Like 0 have. But that's fine. In theory, they might, I guess. So, yeah, that works.
Go get your child vaccinated. So we're going to include them in the Key to NYC, the guidelines for Key to NYC, starting on December 14th.
Oh,
so this is, again, 1 dose now because it's a new vaccination.
This way, now that if the kids want to go and see Christmas stuff and they're 5 to 11, which is exactly the key demographic to go see Christmas stuff in New York City, if they don't have the vaccination, now they can't go. That's not going to hurt tourism at all. That's wonderful. You were thinking about this one. You were like, you know what? That's the Christmas time, 5 to 11. That's the Christmas group. At a minimum, I mean, I hate all of this. However, couldn't you have at least waited until after Christmas? I mean, no, that's right, because you're worried about the people kids gathering together and I guess getting stabbed or whatever, I guess.
That gives parents plenty of time. We've been having vaccination drives in schools. We're in the middle of our second round in every single elementary school in New York City, every school with 5 to 11-year-olds.
Because you know what school's job is? Not to educate your kid. Stupid. How can you guys think that? David was like, I thought school was to educate kids. No, it is to give them vaccines. That's what school's job is. So, figure it out now.
This will be the second time around, started last week, continuing this week.
Correct.
If you're a parent, you want to get your kid vaccinated, it's so simple.
Send them to school.
At your own school, or it could be in many.
I mean, you were concerned about getting educated, but, who needs that? Get vaccinated.
Many locations nearby your home. This is something that's going to keep kids safe and families safe. Go get your child vaccinated.
Everybody's safe.
So long as they've gotten.
Look, I know you might say to yourself, wait a minute, my kid, he's 16, he's 17. He hasn't really been in school much because he has to go home and he gets because of COVID scares back and forth. Now, because of the black market, a lot of the guys are trying to grab him to join a gang, and he's joining the gang, but he feels bad about this. So he's actually, the worst part is he's in a gang. So I guess he's going to be shooting people or being shot at, probably. The odds are high someone's getting shot or stabbed. But if I get him this, will he then be safe? Or worse, I have an older child who's in their 20s and who can't get their act together because they can't get a job, because they can't work because of your lockdowns. And now they're on drugs. When they OD, is the vax going to help them for that? I'm going to go with no. I'm not sure how safe this actual city it is. Am I wrong?
That first dose by December 14th, they can continue to participate, indoor dining, entertainment, all of these great things. Now, another point.
You get to have your rights back if you do as I say. Now, this is the problem that I have. People didn't get upset with the Key to New York. I did, but people didn't. They're like, well, it's just good. It's restaurants and stuff. It's just good, right? People thought that. A lot of New York was like, it's just come on, it's dining and whatever. They thought it was okay. And then when the dumb things came out, like, well, wait a minute, if you sit down, the mask comes off. If you eat the mask, but if you don't eat, remember all those people were like, well, it's kind of dumb, but so what? Don't worry. I was one of the guys saying, this is a terrible idea. Don't give them anything. Why? Because we gave Deblasio, we allowed him to punish us on this one. We went, okay, fine, we'll do that. Now we got the next key to New York. Now we got the next thing and the next thing. We've set the precedent that he owns us. So now he owns us. So how do you back off now? How do you back off now?
For our youngest kids.
They're telling our 5-year-olds that you don't have rights. You can't go see a Christmas show in New York City with your kids.
Previously, for the kids 12 years old and up, the rule's been in place for high-risk extracurricular activities.
High risk.
Sports, band.
Sports. I mean, if your kid is outside and athletic, they're going to die. He literally just said these are high risk. He said high risk. Outside sports. Banned. Because you know the ban, super high risk. This is high risk. So young people, for the case of sports, young people who are in shape outside, super high risk. I'm just a little curious. Wouldn't you think that maybe something like, I don't know, nursing home might be more high risk?
And chorus, orchestra, dance, things where there's a lot of close contact, things where kids are, singing or anything where they're really letting a lot of air out that could have an impact on everyone around them.
See the air out.
That has applied to kids 12 and up.
Yeah.
We're going to now apply that to kids in the 5 to 11-year-old range as well. That's also December 14th.
That's going to help.
Only one dose.
I thought we were trying to help.
There's time for parents to get that done. Most kids don't necessarily participate in those activities. That's fine. But for those who do, we want to make sure they have that protection.
We'll make sure we punish them also. Let's punish everybody.
Okay,
it's fair at least. I mean, I'll give them that.
Another really big, important step, and this
is a big step.
Is going to be a first in the nation step. You're going to hear from our health commissioner in a moment, and he will be issuing a commissioner's order.
A commissioner's
for
order.
All private sector employers.
Hold on. Commissioner's order. When did I vote for the commissioner? I'm trying to remember. I voted for the commissioner. Oh, right, never. So how does he get to order stuff? How does the commissioner get to order stuff? I'm trying to remember what election he won. Oh, right, he didn't. But okay, I know. It's okay. So, but someone else was elected and he stepped in, right? No. How does he get to order stuff? Well, I'm going to be a commissioner too. I'm the commissioner of YouTube, I guess. I don't know, media. I'm ordering stuff too. How come I can't order stuff? No one elected me. No one elected him. Not that anyone should be giving orders, but at least at a minimum, they should be accountable to somebody. Who's this guy accountable to? Nobody. So now he can just decide what he wants, tell his commissioner to order it, and it's basically executive orders, but not done through him, done through some commissioner who no one is accountable to.
In New York City. It is time. Look, this is how we put health and safety first.
Is that how?
By ensuring that there is a vaccine mandate that reaches everyone universally in the private sector. A lot of folks in the
universal in the private sector. This now applies to 184,000 businesses. Did you get that? Now the private sector employees, all of them must be vaccinated. December 27th. Everyone in New York City, every employee, 184,000 businesses. Think about that. He has just decided, the commissioner, unelected, has decided that all of you must be vaccinated. The commissioner, an unelected person, not that it's, it would matter if he's elected, but it would be at least a level of, on a horribleometer, it'd be a little bit lower on the horribleometer. It's still horrible. But this is even higher on the horribleometer because now some dude says every single business, every single employee in New York City must have something injected into their body.
Private sector said to me they believe in vaccination,
but they're
not quite sure how they can do it themselves. Well, we're going to do it.
That's not really the right answer. See? That's the problem. You should not. That's no. Now, to be forward, if there are businesses who want to implement this, I don't have the problem with the government creating guidelines for businesses who don't know what to do. It's fine if you want to do that. Create a guideline. If you care, you follow the guideline. It's fine. But some businesses come and go, I don't know how to do a mandate. I don't know. Great. You know what? We'll just mandate everybody. That'll solve the problem.
We're going to do this so that every employer is on a level playing field. One universal standard starting December.
Because you know what all businesses require? One universal standard. Because what could go wrong with that, right? That's how you foster innovation. That's how you foster people doing new things. That's how you support small businesses. Oh, no, wait, that's how you crush all of those things. That's literally how you crush all of those things. So yeah, no, the opposite of what you just said is true.
27th, we're going to be working with businesses all over the city.
Yeah, you're working with them.
That's almost 200,000.
He's working with them. What he means is we'll be threatening them with inspectors to punish or working with them.
1,000 businesses that are not already covered by the Key to NYC guidelines right now. We're going to be working with the business community. We're going to be talking to them in the next days on how to put together the right plan to implement this. The specific guidance, the specific rules will come out on December 15th.
That's what happens.
We want to have a collaborative process. We want to make this work. And let's be clear, we have a great example with the Key to NYC.
That's a great
all
example.
Those restaurants, all those fitness clubs, all those entertainment facilities, movie theaters, all sorts of places. They've been working with us. They gave us good advice up front. We came up with rules that worked. The vast majority have implemented those rules really effectively. I constantly hear from people that they know if they go into a place under Key to NYC, they're safe.
Yeah. See, people go to him. Just like what liar Cuomo used to say. I hear all the time people telling me, no one told Cuomo that stuff. He made that up. And now he's going, people tell me all the time. Who tells you? You mean your lackeys around you go, well done, sir. Well done. Your lackeys might tell you that. People don't come up to you every day, all the time going, I'm so happy you gave the key to New York City. I now feel safe when I go into a store. People don't tell you that. You made that up. People don't every day. That's a lie. He made that up. The lackeys around him, his sycophants around him, tell him that because they want to keep their jobs. But no, that's not what happens.
And they feel comfortable. They're going to enjoy themselves. They feel comfortable in those settings because they know everyone's vaccinated. And
otherwise, they wouldn't feel comfortable, I guess.
There was a lot of concern up front. Would it work? Would it be difficult? You know what? Businesses have adapted and handled it really, really well. And we know that will happen.
Yeah, and a lot have also gone out of business. So it's true. The businesses that aren't gone, those have adapted. Part of that's because their competition's gone. But I'm not sure if you can call it a win.
Again, we're going to set up a call center to handle concerns from businesses. We'll have a strong outreach effort, as we've done previously, to answer questions, provide the support they need. This is going to make a huge difference to make sure New Yorkers are safe going forward. I want you to hear from the person who will be issuing the order in the course of the day, our health commissioner, Dr. Dave Choksi.
Yeah, he's the health commissioner.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
All he can ever say
when we were thinking
is take
through
the
these
vaccine.
major new policies announced today, we had a few groups of New Yorkers in mind.
Who was in mind?
I thought about my patients. So many of them essential workers who have been at risk throughout the pandemic.
Yes, those essential workers who've been at risk throughout the pandemic. That's true. For over a year and a half. And somehow they're fine. But okay, you thought about them. So what that must mean is you went, you know what? I'd like you to get rewarded in some way and helped in some way because you've been an essential worker. You've been there for us when you were scared and didn't know if this was going to be the plague or not. You had no idea what it was going to be, and you still stood your ground and you helped us. Okay, so you thought about them. Good.
And who are at greater risk when they are in close quarters with unvaccinated colleagues.
Yep.
I thought about our nurses and other healthcare workers, the trauma they've experienced, and the post-traumatic stress they feel right now with cases increasing again and Omicron on the horizon.
And now you had to read this because you didn't know who you liked. He's reading it. That's sad, but it's fine. Okay, maybe he's nervous. He's nervous. So he thought about all those people. All right, and then when
I thought about the patients those same healthcare workers look after, especially the unvaccinated patients expressing regret for their decision in terrifying moments of remorse, like just before they have to be placed on a breathing tube.
All right.
And I thought about how we can better protect people who remain vulnerable despite widespread access to vaccination.
Okay.
Like children who are still too young to get the vaccine and New Yorkers with weakened immune systems, such as those with cancer on chemotherapy.
Yes.
For all of those groups, risk rises as community transmission increases. Even before Omicron becomes more common, we've seen case numbers grow in recent weeks due to Delta, the devil we know. They have more than doubled since a recent low point in early November.
How is it possible that all these cases are going up and everything's getting bad when our mayor just told us we know what works? He just told us that everyone's getting vaccinated. We know it works. He's just told us what great success all this has been. But you're acting like, well, the world's ending. So I'm confused. Is the world ending or does this stuff work? I feel like I'm missing something here, right? Am I wrong? Isn't one person saying it's so amazing and so awesome and that maybe stuff could happen? Well, this guy's like they're all dying. But more than that, if you have a loved one, and that loved one regrets not getting a vaccine, if that's true, and I'm sure that happens. So I'm in a family, my loved one is dying, going on a respirator, dying, regrets not getting a vaccine. If that doesn't move me to get a vaccine, what the hell will? If I see that and I decide, no, I don't want it for whatever my reason is, and it doesn't matter if it's religious, if it's I don't want it, doesn't matter. Your life, you get to decide, and you decide, I don't want it. Okay, so now I need to force you? Because now you'll like vaccines somehow? If your goal as the health guy, health commissioner, who you don't ever talk about things like better lifestyle, that you never talk about. So, vaccines are everything. If you want that to happen, why in the world would this be the way? You're just saying, you know what? I don't know how to handle it, so I'll just punch people because I'm the health minister guy.
Increasing in every borough and every age group.
How can it be?
That's why the bold steps the mayor announced today are necessary and vital, starting with the private sector vaccine mandate. Vaccines work and vaccine mandates work.
Okay, if they work, you just said that it doesn't work. You just said that. And now you're saying they work. Which one?
Particularly when joined with efforts to build vaccine confidence, provide incentives, and improve access, as we have in New York City.
That's what it was.
We've seen this with our healthcare workers, school staff, and
so then why are you punishing
public
them?
Employees. Now it's time for the private sector to step up and follow suit. Turning to our younger New Yorkers,
I have to grab this. I want to vomit. So let me move on a little bit further if I could. This is just embarrassingly bad. That we just keep. Let me grab some comments. I'll calm myself down, I hope. Maybe not. I don't know. Brendan says, let me grab what Brendan says. Brendan says, where is Morpheus to spread his wisdom? Yes, the Matrix takes place in New York. I like that. It's very good. Hey, Dan, it was good seeing you, brother. Doug, yes, it was nice to finally meet you. Yes, good to meet you too, my friend. I appreciate that. Yes. All right. Let's see here. Barry says, why the hell is New York City citizens allowing that communist to make any rules when he's on his way out? Because there's no way around it. That's the problem. There is no way around it. That's the problem. So yes, when you come in right when Larry is saying he'll control you, that's good. Yes. All right. Let's see here. Michael says, protect me from the winter. Yeah. That'd be good. Ed says, Deblasio is being a slave master, want to get more slaves to take the needle. I don't think it's that, Ed. I'm going to say something which will make some of you maybe cringe. I think he's telling the truth. I do. I think he honestly believes this stuff. I don't think he's trying to be mean or nasty. I don't think he is. I think he honestly believes that he's your dad, Ed. And that it's good for you. And it hurts him more than it hurts you. I think he honestly believes this. I believe that he is that delusional. That he literally believes all the crap he's spewing. I think he does believe he's our dad. And he thinks it's his job to protect us. And he thinks he is. And if you, Ed, don't believe it, you're just a rebellious teen who needs to be disciplined. I think he honestly believes that. Some of you may cringe. That's what I think. I think that's true. So maybe I'm wrong. Jason says, the amount of anxiety this state provokes on me is unnecessary and absurd. Yes, I'm not concerned about COVID, but government's reaction. Yes, go Bills. Nice. Yes. Logic Win says, if vaccination works, then why is Vermont the most vaccinated state seeing a surge in cases? Look, I always go back to Florida. Florida had, relative to us, very few lockdowns. They had a couple here or there, but compared to New York, none compared to New York, right? Similar population in size, similar population in density, similar population in demographics. Not perfect, but similar. They have a little bit more people. Our density is a little bit more than theirs, but they're very close. They have large cities with dense populations also. Not the same, but very close to us. Their population demographics similar. They have a little bit more elderly than we have. We have a little bit more Black. They have a little bit more Hispanic. But they're very similar. And the death rate, similar. Yes, I think they're at like 69,000, something like that. We're like at 60 something. We're close to the death rates, very similar. And everything, and when it comes to death, is similar between us and Florida. It's similar. So how effective are the lockdowns? That's my issue. So Dan says, I noticed that they've gotten bored with the alphabet and moved onto Decepticon names. That's cute, Ted. I like that. Decepticon names, yes. Waiting for the Echo variant, and I got Omicron. Yes, exactly. Which, if you rearrange the lyrics, the letter spells moronic. Nice. Oh, Dan, nice. Yes. All right. The Optimus Prime will be the next one. Yes. All right. So, yes. All right. Ed says, masks work, restrictions work, now jabs work. Get one or else. Oh, wait. We've done all of that and still have COVID. Yeah. Yes. There was a crazy guy about 20 months ago who was saying we have to find a way to live with COVID because it's not going away. This is a contaminated environment. Let's find a way to function within this without destroying our economy, destroying ourselves, destroying our schools. That guy was me. I said that literally 20 months ago. Anyone paying attention? Nope. Nope. Not at all. Now, we talked about how bad Germany was. And I want to bring this up that some of you may not know. Germany's having lockdowns, and it's bad. But there's a difference, though. There's a minor difference. Germany, as they're saying, you have to get, vaccinated. It's not only vaccinated. You know what's included in Germany? Having COVID and surviving. Germany accepts natural immunity, also vaccinated. You can do either one of them. America doesn't. America doesn't. I'm going to see if I can find something that you may or may not enjoy. But there's a list of countries in the EU and the advanced world that actually say it's the same, either vaccinated or you had it. The same, doesn't change. I'll see if I can find it. I probably should have checked this up earlier, but I wasn't thinking. See if I can grab this one. They by the way, minor thing, Michael Smirkanish is going to start filling in for Chris Cuomo. I just thought that was interesting. That would be interesting because he kind of is, the guy who does that all the time. So yeah, let's see if I could find this out, if I have it here. Bingo. All right. So let me see if I can show some of this one. You may enjoy this one. It'll give you a little bit of what we're talking about. Hold on. Let's see here.
Wouldn't work here and won't be tried. I'm Michael Smirkanish in Philadelphia. This week, Germany announced a nationwide lockdown for the unvaccinated, saying that they will be banned from accessing all but the most essential businesses such as supermarkets and pharmacies.
Germans are harsh.
Under the tightened rules, unvaccinated people can only meet 2 people from another household, and bars and nightclubs must shut down in areas with a high incidence rate.
What could go wrong with Germans starting to lock people up? What could go wrong? Nothing.
That would never succeed in the United States, where passions about vaccination run deep and often divide along partisan lines. And it's probably not worth the effort.
This is before Deblasio did it.
Such is the intensity here in the States that on Thursday, a government shutdown was averted, despite the willingness of some Republicans to bring services to a halt in a bid to stop President Biden's vaccine mandates. And the president seemed to acknowledge the futility of continuing to try to convince some in red or rural states to get vaccinated when he announced a strategy shift away from singular focus on vaccination and instead to emphasize increased testing. But maybe
Not
there's an
Deblasio.
olive branch that could be extended to some of the unvaccinated that might bridge our divide on the pandemic. Buried in the report.
That's not actually a bad idea. At least it bridges the gap. It's something, right? At least it bridges the gap. Testing does bridge the gap. I'm agreeing with that. That's something, right? It makes it better.
Thing about Germany's lockdown limiting the activities of the unvaccinated was this pretty significant caveat.
Yep.
The ban does not apply to those who have recently recovered from COVID-19.
Bingo.
Basically, the lockdown is for those with no antibodies, and those who have
Correct.
had COVID are treated the same as those who've been vaccinated.
What?
And it's not just Germany.
No.
Here's something that I did not know that might come as a surprise to you too.
Because no one talks about it.
Unlike here in the United States, the European Union and other countries have been affording the same privileges to people who've had COVID-19, the same privileges as those who are fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
Among the countries that do,
Look at this map.
Austria, Belgium, France, Germany, Greece.
Look at that map. That's all of Europe except like Belarus. Belarus is like the only one, and Russia. Everyone else is like, it's the same. It's the same. Now, I'm not saying you got to force the vax, but man, that's way better. Way better. I don't like the lockdowns, but this is at least something. Now we're getting somewhere. I don't understand how bad we are. This is, I sound like a broken record. Is this America? What is wrong with them? All of these countries, all of them are like, yeah, it's the same. Not us. No, get the jab or you're done. Period. And as harsh as Germany is, they're still better than New York City. Think about that. The Germans are better and more libertarian than New York City. Maybe, Mr. Deblasio, you should change your name back to Warren Wilhelm, which was his name prior to 2001. Maybe he should do that because, man, you're almost goose stepping is all I'm saying. So you might as well just go back to that. So, yeah. I thought you guys might enjoy that one. Yeah. Anyway, let me keep going if I can. All right. Let's see if I can keep doing this. Tom says, less deadly, less severe, less close and everything. Correct. Yes. Evan says, how much more money does Larry Sharpe need to be a force? I don't know. 2 million? You pick the number. It's good. I'm already trying. I am trying my best. Yes, to keep this going. Absolutely. So Michael says, Omicron being more like the common cold, weaker, less deadly, should be good news, not a panic button time. Ooh, Michael, that's a very good point. You could look at it as the variant that comes out that's actually less deadly. Maybe that's a good thing. That's a way of looking at it. I like that. Good way of looking at it. Sure. Yes. I like that. Kirsten says, speaking as a former reliability engineer, there's no such thing as 100% viability, 100% safety, or 0% risk. Yes, I'm very pro-vaccine, and the evidence is that they are very effective. But anyone who's selling it as 100% effective is a liar and is not just helping boosting confidence in vaccines. You know what, Kirsten? I cannot agree more. If they would actually just be open with all the problems of the vaccine, people would trust it more, not less. Some people still wouldn't trust it. But by percentage, if they were openly doing it and saying, here are the bad things and the problems, and just doing it openly, people would be like, oh, okay, let me decide if that's worth a risk or not. And generally speaking, if you are someone who's at risk, you would probably take the vaccine. If you knew the actual risk of it, you'd probably say, you know what? The risk of the COVID is worse for me. I'll take it. Or it's not, and I won't. But that we trust it more. I agree. Blatant transparency is always going to get you more trust than not every single time. Yes. So, all right. Logic says, call me naive, but I'm looking forward to Adams taking office next month. He actually has common sense. More than him, I think that's true. I think Adams has more common sense than him. And I think this is one of the reasons why he's doing it. He's hoping two things. One, that he can set a precedent that maybe Adams will be forced to hold, or maybe people expect. So that's one thing. Or two, if Adams takes away these mandates and things go badly, he can blame Adams. See, it's because Adams didn't hammer you guys hard. See, if he had hammered the way I said, nobody would have died. We'd all be immortal. That's how it works. Yes. So Tom says, a friend of mine has a cold. Should I go to the hospital just in case? Makes sense. Does make sense. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that's good. Missy says, help support the show up way. Like, subscribe, and comment. Yes, please do that. She is right. Please always like, comment, share. I say it all the time. Please don't stop. It is important. Please do it. Absolutely. And support my sponsors. The world's smallest political quiz. It is important. Please support our sponsors. Heading over there and share that quiz. I know many of you have taken it already. All good. Share it. It does matter. Why? Because now you're talking about the issues that matter. In fact, there actually is a pandemic survey. I should be talking about that one now. There's a pandemic survey. Go to that site and then go to where it says single issue surveys and click the pandemic survey. If you've taken it, great, share it. Now's a good time. If you haven't taken it, take it and then share your results. It is very interesting how people think about the pandemic now. And that survey is over a year old. Has it changed? Have you changed? I think it's a good chance. So go take that one instead and then share that one. You can do that. And of course, if you want to support me running around New York State, LarrySharpe.com/donate. Happy to take all the love that you would like to give. So yes, please support our sponsors. Thank you so much. All righty. Let's see here. Dan says, you're opposed to pineapple on pizza. Before you my favorite Politico. Now you're my brother. Yes, two things trigger me. Two things. That one, pizza, pineapple on pizza, and every executive going, that's it. My job is to say, yeah. Oh my God. That drives me crazy. Yes. All right. Evan says, problem is the party is we end up being swing votes. I'm not sure we go. And was this for me or for someone else? I'm not sure who it was for. I was watching LNC last few days. Why would you do that? Why would you watch the LNC ever? I don't know why you would do that. Terrible idea. Don't watch. I don't watch it. You should not watch the LNC ever. I would question, why are we all not treating this like we could win? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't know. Support your local politician. Support your local LP candidate, Evan. That will be my advice. Whoever is your local LP candidate, support him or her. Assist them in moving forward to the best of their ability. Assist them in making change. The LNC is its own thing. Please don't watch. It doesn't help. Just leave them alone. They'll do what they're going to do. Let them do it. You focus on your local politician, your local candidate, your local LP, your local affiliate, your state affiliate, any of those. Yes, do that. Awesome. So, all right. Okay. David says, translation, this is the most important election of our lifetime. This crisis is the most important crisis of our lifetime until 2022 election. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yes, you're not wrong. John says, New York City is safer compared to when? Citation needed, Mr. Get a Jab, Get a Cheeseburger. That's right. Yes, absolutely. I don't know how he decides that. Absolutely. Evans says, I have a hard time throwing money at individual candidates until we have a base to support them. How do we get a base to support them if you don't throw money at them? This is chicken and egg. I get that problem all the time, by the way, Evan. You're not the only person who says it. I love people say, when I say, can you support me with a donation? Well, Larry, how much money have you raised? I've raised X amount of dollars. Well, I'd like you to raise more. Well, then give me some more money and I'll raise more. You believe in me or you don't. I'm not mad at you, Evan. You believe in your candidate or you don't. If you don't believe in your candidate, you probably shouldn't support them. And I'm not trying to hammer any candidate at all. What I'm saying is you should support the candidates that you believe in, that you think will make some kind of impact for you, whatever that impact is, if you believe it's for the future or right away. Locally, a lot of candidates can actually win and make impact right away. Statewide, harder. National, much harder. But if you think you can support them, you should, if you think it's appropriate. It shouldn't matter, because if you give them more money, then you'll have more of a base. Now, with that in mind, it's not just money. And Evan, you might know this already. It's not only money. Money does matter, but it isn't the only thing. It isn't enough at all. Ask Bloomberg, he'll tell you. That's not enough. You've got to be able to also motivate people to show up. Why do you think I'm crossing the state all the time? I want people to show up. Let them know I'm here. I'm coming to you. You come to me. We're in this together. People have to care. Grassroots also matters. So showing up matters, right? And showing up here. This also matters. Thank you for watching, Evan. It does help. All of those things help. What I would ask you is, Give what you can give, whether that's money or time or eyeballs or showing up, whatever you got. If you have more money than time right now, throw some extra money. If you got more time than money right now, throw some extra time. If you don't have either, give what you can give, but only give to candidates that you think can make some impact in what you care about. That's my personal opinion. And if you think your local affiliate's doing good stuff, throw money at your local affiliate. If you think they're doing something good, give. If you think they're not, don't. That would be my view. I hope at least answers what you're talking about. I hope I got it right. I hope so. Tom says, I just got my booster, so I'm immortal now. You are. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Evan says, oh, Evan, you got a lot of stuff. My goals are expanding the base of the party. I like Larry, though I have been subbed to him for this year. Thank you. Don't stop subbing. It does matter. And please like, share, and comment too. Absolutely. Yes. All right. Let me see. Shannon says, I just want to know what they get end goal after pushing it so hard. This is the issue, right? This is why I say I'm not sure Deblasio actually has an end goal. Do people have end goals? Yes, of course. Do some leaders have end goals? Absolutely. I feel like Deblasio really believes that he's helping you, Shannon. I think he thinks everyone's going to copy him and follow. I think he believes what he's saying. That's what I think. Others are laughing and going, keep going, keep taking control of everything. And they probably coax him on. Yeah, do more stuff. And he's doing it because he thinks he's saving it. Yes, absolutely. All right. Michelle's like, this is such BS. Yeah. Doug says, simple genocide. Do you think that actually Deblasio wants genocide? That's a hard one for me to swallow, Doug. That's a hard one for me to swallow. I feel like I don't think he's smart enough to be forward. I mean, I don't even think that's possible. I'm not sure. That one's hard for me to swallow. Yeah. Gene says, I couldn't wait to see your reaction to episode of the news tonight. Yeah, well, the team got mad at me. They're like, you got to do this tonight. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. Yes, absolutely. Yes. It's good. David says, teaching children is so 19th century. Paul Goodman pointed out that public education is geared towards social engineering. He said in the early 1960s. Sadly, it's true. Yes. Sadly, it's true. Yes. You're right. All right. Let's see here. If I keep going down here. Michelle says, so nothing at school either now? Yeah, if I was in New York City and had kids, I'd be gone. I pulled my kid out. I already done it. Did it. I pulled my kid out. Yes. So Evan says, yeah, if you route to me, I'll probably drop about 20K on you. More if you need to be a good dude. I like that. I'm gonna have to call you then. If it's that easy, I'll have to call you. I usually would not. Yeah. You think you have an actual hot owl invest problem. I'm not sure what that means. Shot. I'll invest properly. All right. I'm calling you, Evan. Reach out to me on Twitter. I'll call you. I'm happy. I have actually, believe it or not, I have several donors who've decided to go 5 figures with me. And in case any of you who know, the maximum donation you can do to a gubernatorial candidate in New York State is $44,000. That's the maximum. So look, I know Dan was ready to write a check for 45. Dan, don't Dan. Too much. 44. You'll be fine. Don't go 45,000. He was gonna. Michelle was gonna give me 50,000. I was like, don't do it, Michelle. I'll get in trouble. 44. Be legal. So yes, they were gonna write me massive checks. So I'm teasing, obviously. The reality of it is the average donor for my last campaign, I don't know what is this campaign right now. My last campaign was $85 over the course of a year. So most of my donors are smaller donors, giving under $100. Most give actually under 50. That's the norm, which is why I have to make so many phone calls, because I raised $500,000 and the average donor $85. You can do the math. That's a lot of donors. So yes, I'm nowhere near calling all my donors. I think I've called 600, 700 in that area. I haven't got to 1,000 yet. So I have a long time before I finish calling donors. But yes, I have many of them I have to call. So thank you. Yes. All right. Let's see here. Tom says, if the Fed mandate has been put on a hold in every state, how will this hold in court? He doesn't care. Tom, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's going to do it. Doesn't matter. 100%. He doesn't care, but maybe. So, all right. Michelle says, so this applies to a business that you own and have no one working for you. Ooh, Michelle, you know what? I should check details of that. I actually don't know. It's interesting because I own one. So yeah, I own two. So yes, I actually have two businesses. Interesting point. Interesting point. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Do we have to go? Do I have to get the jab? Maybe. Do we have the third jab and the fourth jab and the fifth jab? Maybe. So maybe. All right. Brian says the greatest tyrannies are always perpetrated. Am I doing it right? I'm screwing it up. The greatest tyrannies are always done in the name of the noblest causes. Thomas Paine. That's correct. Yes, that's correct. Renee says, Deblasio setting the standards for other cities and states. Damn him. I expect Mexico to follow. Now, Renee, thank you for this. For all you people who go, Larry, why do I care about New York? Renee, you get it. This is the actual battleground, not Florida or Ohio or Pennsylvania. That's not the battleground. The battleground states, New York and California. Those are the two. And their governor's in a little bit of trouble now, so he's kind of waddling. He's not as strong as he was, right? Ours is brand new, and Deblasio doesn't care if he's in trouble or not. Irrelevant. He is a true believer. So whatever happens here goes across the state. You should care. Absolutely. Michelle says, ask Florida, lowest infection rates and no mandates. Right now, lowest is correct. Right now. 100%. Right now. Absolutely. So, all righty. Desiree says using another variant to issue more control, which hasn't even done anything yet. Oh, yes. Renee says, where are the cures? Why are we putting sick people on ventilators when they are proven to be extremely dangerous to sick people? It's a valid point, Renee. Didn't they say they had a pill, right? Didn't they have a pill that was supposed to fix or save you? Wasn't that true? Or some, and then there's the antibodies this will be using and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, why would you be putting people on ventilators? Very often when you put people on ventilators, if they don't get off fast, they don't get off. You're right, because the ventilators make your body do everything. And then your body gets used to not doing anything. And you can't come off. Well, you die. You're right, Renee. That's what happens. Yes. So, all right. Brian says, relax, Larry. It's called doublespeak. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. James says, I admit that I'm pro-vaccine, but I think mandates for the vaccine are a horrible idea. I agree. I'm not anti-vax at all. At all. I'm pro-consent. You do what you think's right for you. That's what I care about. You pick. I don't pick. Who the hell am I? I'm the doctor-in-chief. You voted for the doctor-in-chief. You voted for me to tell you how to run your life. I mean, if you want me to tell you how to run your life, it's fine. But then that's between you and I. We'll make an agreement, and I'll just tell you what to do. And that's you agree to have me run your life. No worries. But unless you agree for me to run your life, I'm not running your life. And it's going to cost you because that's time out of my day. So you got to pay for me to run your life. But I'll do it for you if you want me to. No worries. We'll come up with incentives. Yeah, that's what it's called. Absolutely. Yeah, incentives. I love that. I love that. Yes. All right. Barry says, oh, God, don't say that, Larry. Memes with this face saying, jab me harder, daddy. Yes. So true. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Oh, that's great. Let me keep going on if I can. All right. After the Omega strain will come the Andromeda strain. Oh, you're dating us, David. I remember that. Yes. Oh, some people won't know that. Yes. Correct. All right. Let me, it's very good. Tim says, was America. Ooh, nice, Tim. Was America. That's good. Yes. All right. Tom says, did you see this ceremony with German soldiers marching with torches? Nothing like mandates in Germany. What could go wrong, Tom? What could go wrong? Germany wanting to lock people down? What could go wrong? Absolutely. Tim says, locking down the economy works so well. Let's lock it down harder. No. The issue is they're trying to scare you, saying, do as we say, or we will. Or we will. Yes. Gene says, my son-in-law recovered from both COVID-19 and the Delta variant. He won't get the shots because his immune system is working as it should. He has been denied employment because he won't get the shots. This infuriates me. He has antibodies. Why TF does he need the shots? That's exactly what Smukanis was saying. And All the other countries agree with you and your son. Only America says no. Only America says no. USA, USA. Only America says no. Crazy. Yes. Hannah says, yes, I hate when they try to tell you the benefits outweigh the risks. That's opinion. Yes. My risks are different than yours. MSNBC. That's why I'm listening to Larry Sharpe. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Hannah. Exactly right. Thank you. Yes. You decide. I don't decide. Joe's on my side. He says local LP affiliates and local candidates. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So, all right. Let's see if I can go here. Oh, thank you, Missy. Thank you for posting this, Missy. If you've gone to the Advocates website, make the pandemic survey, it's right here. You can click that bit.ly link right there. Click that link that's in Missy's comment on Facebook. Click that link and boom, you can go there and take it if you want to. That would be amazing. So all good. That would be awesome. All right, let me grab a couple more if I can. All righty. Joe says, I'm 41 and have given to several candidates while running for office 3 times. I've seen this, yes. Hopefully I'll wise up when I'm older. Hey, Joe, I'm not sure you will. I love you anyway, brother. Love you anyway. Yes, I love that. All righty. Let me, if I could, I want to bring up a very important piece here, if I could. There's one other one I want to show, and this is of an individual store owner who's talking about stuff, right? This is one part I want to show if I could. It's an actual store owner. He's a barbershop guy talking.
Something great, and we welcome you.
Thank you, Mayor Deblasio. I just want to say, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Absolutely. We can see your
Behind
whole
the Bronx
team,
who runs a
too.
barbershop.
Yeah, the guys are back here. Thank you, Mr. Deblasio. I'm Nestor LeBron, owner of the Barber Factory in the Bronx. And I just want to say all of our staff were fully vaccinated. We've been vaccinated for a couple of months now.
So why would this guy come on and do this? Because he's getting free advertising, because his business has been shredded. His business has been shredded by that same mayor. And the mayor's like, you want to come on? He's like, can I get some free advertising? Yeah. Can we all wear our shirts? Yeah. Okay. When this was done, how come nobody is getting a haircut? Because his business is shredded.
And it makes a great difference for our customers and for us, knowing that we're protected and we feel safe coming in as patrons, and with the community can feel safe, with us coming in here, getting service and knowing that we're protected and that we're doing.
And that's what he thinks. No, he's like, you can come in here because I need you to come in here because my business got shredded. I'm not mad at Nestor at all. Nestor's smart. Now I feel bad because Nestor's in trouble, so he had to come out and do this and play the game. I got it. But he's basically under duress. You can see how he's talking. Look at the guys in the back. It's like a hostage situation. He's in trouble. He's trying to keep his business going.
The right things to move forward and help our community out.
Hey, Nestor, what do you say to your customers when they talk to you about what they're looking for? They want to go get a haircut. They're worried about COVID. What do you tell them about what it means to come into an environment?
I know most of the people I know don't go to the barbershop because they're worried about COVID. Actually, no, that's a lie. No one I know thinks that way. But I guess somebody might. It's possible somebody might. But I know no one who thinks that. But okay.
Where everyone's vaccinated.
Okay, let me tell you what actually happened. We couldn't go to barbershops for weeks, if not months. And the barbershops had no protocols. So it was a pain in the ass to go to a barbershop. So you know what people started doing? Buying their own clippers and cutting their own hair at home. The black market popped up. Barbers who couldn't do that were cutting hair at home. Now those barbers are making money at home right now. The black market has exploded. So now there's a bunch of black market haircuts all over the place. Yeah, duh. You made a black market and now a black market exists. And now Nestor, who has done all the right things, is now punished. And now Nestor has to go on TV and kiss your ass. The guy who hammered him in the first place and ruined his business, he must do that to survive and pay his guys so they can keep making money. That's what actually happened. That's reality. People aren't going back to barbershops because they haven't been going back in a while, and they're used to getting black market haircuts. So they are. That's the reality.
Well, I mean, they know, our customers know what we went through in the shutdown. So
See that?
to let them know, to let the community know that we're back and we're taking all steps necessary to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Did you see how please don't shut me down again, Lord. Yes, 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 my Lord. Please don't shut us down. We will follow all of the Baron's edicts. Yes, Baron Wilhelm. We will follow all of your edicts. Please don't shut us down again. That's what he's saying.
You know, it means everything to us. It's our livelihood. That's what was put at risk before, and we're doing everything.
Who put it at risk, though? I'm just going to ask. Who put your livelihood at risk? Was it the magic COVID gnomes? No, it wasn't, because there are no magic COVID gnomes. Who was it? It was that guy right there whose butt you're currently kissing. Yes, I get it. And I feel bad for you, brother. I do. And you know what? If I was you, I might be kissing that butt right now, too. I might be.
So that doesn't happen again.
Amen. And when you got your employees, and I see a lot of the guys there, what's the conversation like? If someone has a hesitation or concern, what's been the conversation that's helped everyone get to the point now?
So tell me how I'm right and we should all get vaccinated, right? Say the party line. Say it now, and I will let you have your business.
That everyone's 100% vaccinated.
I mean, it's mandatory for us. We're trying to do the right thing. You know, it stands behind our name, the Barber Factory, to make sure that we do the right thing. So, you know, we spoke to the guys, you know, this is something that we have to do to ensure safety, you know, and especially now with the new variant, you know,
because we're scared with the new variant that you will crush us again, Lord. So please, Baron, we will follow all of your edicts. All of your edicts will follow. Please don't punish us. What must we say to keep our business going?
We feel better. We
feel better.
Before, when this all started, we didn't know what was going on. But now, knowing that we're all vaccinated and that the city has in place to punish us, it's an amazing feeling.
Hey, Nestor, I am very, very impressed by what you've done. And as a New Yorker, I am proud of you. You're sending a message to this whole city, and you're showing the whole country what New York City is made of.
Yes,
and our strength, our resilience. I got some people.
Our obedience. Don't forget that part. I don't know where the strength and resilience part came from, but the obedience, he is showing that. I guess if that's a virtue, I'm going to go with
here in the room with me who put together these press conferences. We're all going to applaud you now. Thank you, Nestor.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Good job.
Let's clap. Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, everyone.
Please don't shut us down.
That's not a true, clear voice. I don't know what is. And Nestor,
you don't know what is, but it's fine. I wanted you to see that. When I saw that, I just thought, I felt like that was some guy in a hostage situation, and it's like, read the thing, read the thing. Oh, America is evil. The imperialists. That's what I thought. Like he was doing that. Was he blinking to tell us that, you know, he's a hostage? Was he blinking Morse code? Was he blinking Morse code? Not Morris, the cat code. Morse code. Yes. Anyway, I just thought you might enjoy that one. Or maybe not. COVID-19, an excuse for authoritarianism. Yes. Mina says, you took the words in my mouth. I don't think he's smart enough. I agree. I don't think he is smart enough, Mina. I think he actually believes that. Yes. Hannah says, I'd vote for Rand Paul, doctor-in-chief. Look at that. Nicely done, Hannah. Okay. Good comeback. Very, very nice retort. I like that. Larry could run my life better than I do. Maybe. But you know what, Michael? I would only do it if you asked me to. That may be true and may not be true. But either way, I only get to do it if you decide. That's all. All good. Yes. Joe says, have a friend here in Florida that just took an antibody test and it came back negative. 2 years into COVID, going around and nothing. I heard on Free Talk Live some callers say members of their household didn't get COVID while others have. I don't think it's as easy to catch as some think. I don't think we know, Joe, right? It could be a genetic thing, right? I don't think we know. Is there a genetic thing that, you know, we talked about? I mean, that we haven't talked about yet? That maybe genetically some people can get it and some people can't? Maybe. I don't know. So we're not sure. Lock it all down. Aggressive. Let's be aggressive. Yes. So Michelle said, I remember that movie. I know we're dating ourselves, Michelle. We remember that movie. Yes. Stop, David. You're making us feel old. Stop. So yes, that's good. Yeah. All right. That's good. James says places like Australia went over the limit because of the U.S. not stopping Debs. Oh, the BS. Oh, that's the BS. Sorry. Places like Australia went over the limit because of the U.S. not stopping the BS. Oh, you think the U.S. gave them the image that they could be that way, and then Australia went even further? Maybe. Yes. Thank you, Mina. Perpetuated. Mina does love me. Absolutely. Thank you. I love you back. Yes, absolutely. Perpetuated. That's what I meant. Isn't that what I said? Yes. Thank you. All right. Todd says, I feel safer by each word said by the mayor and governor. Me too. So safe. So safe. Absolutely. Glenn says, what will New Yorkers actually do? Have the current restrictions been enforced or widely ignored? They are semi-enforced and a little bit ignored. Like people know in the communities, the places that don't do it, right? They don't do it. So they do know that. So some don't. But as a general rule, New Yorkers are complying. New York City people, I'm sorry, be very clear. New York City residents in general, they absolutely are. They're complying. I feel horrible. They are. So Sam says, I don't feel the need to ask medical questions to my barber. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, exactly. I go to my barber and I say, what's this rash? What do you think it is? He goes, oh, let me tell you, I'm a barber. Not that barbers aren't smart. I actually love my barber. He's actually pretty smart. But I don't assume he's a doctor. I don't do that at all. Just because you're smart doesn't mean you know medicine. And the reverse. So just saying, 100%. Paula says, I will feel safe again when Larry Sharpe is governor. Oh, thank you, Paula. I appreciate that. Yes. Michelle says that black market business is now no longer paying taxes either. Yes. Oh, Michelle, good catch. Great catch. You're right. So those black market businesses that are now taking away the business from the open free market. Well, not free. The open market, the legal market isn't free. The legal market, that market now is the legal market is paying less taxes and the black market is paying no taxes. 100%. So you're getting less taxes overall also. And I thought they want I thought they love taxes. It's almost like what they want, they're going directly against. They're supposed to love taxes. You would think you'd want to push all of them into there and get all your taxes. I guess not. Absolutely. So it's just magic vaccine. Yeah, it's a vaccine gnomes, magic ones. They are. Sam says, did anyone else hear the difference in the barbershop owner's voice? I did. Notice the sadness, fear, and change in tempo. Yes. Larry is spot on. This guy is kissing the ring to keep from closing. 100%. Yes. 100%. He is scared. Tim says, oh, definitely the threats you offered, Mr. Wilhelm. Yes. That's absolutely true. Yes. David, you made me feel old again, Dave. It's translation. It's mandatory for us, but there are people with a side gig making money and not paying the licensing fees and taxes. Thank you, David. Thank you. 100%. Yes. Tim says, does Bill look like he's enjoying this? Your blind obedience will be rewarded with applause. Oh, God, I wish you were wrong. I wish you were wrong, Tim. But you're right. Yes. Did Nestor not think to himself, I'm kissing the man's ass on live TV? Nestor wants to pay his bills. Nestor wants to pay his bills. That's what Nestor wants. Look, if I was him, I don't know what's going on with his business. I don't know what kind of debt he's got. I don't know how he got helped. I don't know what's going on in his family life. I don't know if he got child support. I don't know what's going on with Nestor. I have no idea. He might be saying, this is how I keep my business open. I'm in. That's all I'm saying. I know some of you might be mad at Nestor. I'm not mad at Nestor. I'm mad at the mayor who put Nestor in that position. That's who I'm mad at. I'm mad at the mayor who put Nestor in that position. That's the guy I'm against. That's the guy I'm mad at. Yes. So Dan says, it's a criminal. Only 16 people are watching you. You got to damn interview with Eric July, Young, for God's sake. Yeah. No, that's not actually true, Dan. I actually show this live on about 6 to 8. I forgot which one I clicked. 6 or 8 different venues. So one may be low, one may be higher. Generally speaking, the highest one is usually Facebook. Sometimes Twitter is even higher, and I do it on 2 or 3 of my pages. So what you're seeing isn't the only, what you're seeing is at least times 6, if not times 100. It all depends. Generally speaking, these shows, when I don't break the shadow ban, which is mostly, sadly, they hammer me in a shadow ban, I get less than 3,000 views total over the course of all the things that I'm showing. When enough people or the right people like, comment, and share, and it explodes, when that happens, I get about 15,000 total views when that happens. Sadly, since the COVID lockdowns, the shadow ban has been brutal to me. And I probably break I used to break the shadow ban every week. That was the norm before COVID lockdowns. Every week I break the shadow ban, every week. Now, I mean, maybe once a month. That's how hard it is, which is why you keep hearing me say again, why am I such a nudge on like, comment, and share? Because of exactly that. If the right people like, comment, and share, I did beat it. Was it last month? I think it was last month. Not in December yet. December 26th. I have not broken a shadow ban in the last 6 days. I've been shadow banned everything I've done for the past 6 days. But I did break it last month, I think twice. Once actually was something I posted when I was on campaign. Enough of you shared it, it broke the shadow ban. And then one of my either go lives or my shows, I forgot, one of my lives. So last month I actually broke it twice. October I broke it one time. So far I haven't broken it all in December. So yeah, it's what's happening. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, I talk about controversial subjects that they decide is wrong or misinformation or disinformation, whatever they decide, and therefore they ban me. That's how it works. I'm blue check, so don't just cancel me. They just shadow ban me and turn it down so badly that I'm calling people. And I call people who literally are subscribed to my show, watch my show in the past, have watched it, and don't know that I'm even considering running for governor. Don't know. Because it never gets them. They never see it. Some of them say, you're still doing your show, right? They like my pages. They're subscribed on YouTube. They follow me on Twitter. All of those 3. I didn't know you even run around anymore. No idea. That's how much I get turned down. So that's why I bug you all the time. It's not because I'm bored. It's because of that. Yes. So anyway. All righty. If I can do this. James says, most tyrannical government rise during a crisis. 100%. Yes. 100%. Yeah. All right. See, Tim says, y'all have town and village executives in Erie County saying F your mandates. That's true. Western New York is definitely, Western New York has always been pushing against Albany and New York City, and that's not a bad thing. But yes, that's not a bad thing at all. 100%. Doug says, I'm disappointed in Nestor and mad at the mayor. There we go. That's better. I like that, Doug. I'm with you. Yes. Yeah. Disappointment's better. I'm not mad at him, though, right? I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at the mayor. I'm with you, Doug. I've changed. I'm with Doug. I like that. I'm with Doug. Yes, absolutely. So, all righty. Let me see if I can go down here. Tim says, if I didn't cut my own hair, I would go to Manhattan and ask Nestor to cut my hair. I'm not mad at him. Would he ask me for a vaccine passport? That's good. Yes. Tom says, I can't blame the guy trying to make a living. Yes. Yep. James says, Republicans all talk, do nothing. In my state, that's true. I know in some states, Republicans are more active. Not mine. New York State, nothing. Nothing. Dave Miles don't even exist. Don't do anything. They're not effective at all. So I want to grab one more piece if I could. I want to go a little bit further, a little bit more if I could.
Show an example to everyone. And what he said, we all went through shutdowns. We do not want to go through it again. It had a horrible dislocating impact on the lives of our families, our kids who couldn't be in school, businesses shut down, people lost their livelihood. We cannot let that happen again.
So everything he said is true. Did you hear what he just said? All these bad things have destroyed everything. But who did that? Did it just happen like we were walking around and, oh my God, the shutdowns came? No, that's not what happened. Oh my God, the cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers came up. The old movie came up and decided to shut us all down. No, there wasn't a zombie apocalypse. That didn't happen. You mein Hauptmann. You are the one, Bürgermeister. You are the one who shut us all down. That's it. You.
So that's why we're doing this, a preemptive strike, this major new initiative to keep people safe.
Major new initiative.
And now we'll go to the indicators, and they once again show us both what's working, vaccination, and the challenge, more and more cases of COVID.
They
So
speak
on
only
vaccination,
about COVID,
you heard
but
from
not
Dr.
about
Chakti,
deaths.
there's been a surge of vaccinations. That's great, particularly the
I'm going to move
again,
past this.
to keep
He just
us
talks
safe.
about this.
Report
He talks about
1,000
cases.
of each journalist.
He never talks about at all deaths.
Good morning.
Now,
De
then he says,
Esto se aplicará a
he literally just says some stuff in Spanish just to virtue signal. That's it. Just to virtue signal. And then he goes to questions. And watch the questions.
Dr. Ted Long, head of NYC Test and Trace. Georgia
these
Pastana,
people are
Corporation
here.
Counsel for NYC Law Department.
Oh, we're lucky.
Rachel Loeb, President and CEO of NYC Economic Development Corporation. Vicki Bean, Deputy Mayor of
All these
Housing and
people.
Economic Development. And
Wow.
Janelle Doris, Small Business Services Commissioner. Our first question for today goes to Marcia with WC.
There's a small business services commissioner in New York State. New York City. For what possible reason would that even need to exist?
CBS.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. How are you today?
Good, Marcia.
Okay.
How you been?
What's the question?
Good, good. I wonder if you're coordinating this with the governor of New York State, and we can expect to see her adopt the steps that you're taking today as well.
You know, if you're going to destroy New York City, can we get you to destroy the entire state? This is the press. This was the first question from the press. It wasn't, what gives you the authority? Or why do you care about number one, safety? Hey, what about the crime rate? What about overdoses? What about all our kids who don't know anything anymore? What about all the kids who still haven't gone back to school? What about all the problems we see? No. Can we get the whole state to get locked down? That was the question. This is the press. This is depressing. This is the press. Can we lock the whole state down? Could we please?
You know, Marcia, I spoke with Governor Hochul this morning, gave her an update on what we were doing. And I said, look, based on all of our experience, including with the Key to NYC, with the restaurants, with the indoor dining and entertainment, that we really were confident this was the right next step and that private sector employers would work with us to get this done. So I told her why it was the right thing to do for us now. We had a good conversation. I'll certainly let her speak for her own approach here. And
yeah, she will.
Let me emphasize, I respect the governor. We work well together. We talk regularly. There's a lot of coordination and communication.
Yeah, let me walk down. I'm going to bring something that Sam brings up right away. If you noticed, Sam says, notice all these guests, no business leaders or doctors, just bureaucrats. Correct. They're all commissioner of this, commissioner of that, commissioner of this. Yeah. Because all that matters, Sam, which you picked out perfectly, the only people who are essential are government workers. Even though they're a government worker, you're not essential. I'm not against government workers. Guys, whatever job pays your bills is an awesome job. Government job, private sector job, nonprofit job, don't care. It pays your bills. Awesome job. Good on you. Please pay your bills. What I'm saying is, why are there only government employees there? Only government employees are good? They're the only ones who are smart? They are clearly, Sam, the only ones that matter. That's for sure. They're the only ones that matter.
And I appreciate that. That's been really, really helpful in our efforts to keep people safe. Go ahead, Marcia.
Second question is this, Mr. Mayor. I know that there's been some concern about private sector people coming back to work in January.
Yes, there's been worries about private sector people coming back to work. I've been talking about that for literally a year and a half now. I know lots of them that are not coming back. I know because they're my customers. Well, I don't work anymore. My clients from before, my former clients. So yes, they're not coming back. That's a problem.
And I know that there's been some concern expressed by the business community about the number of people who want to come back because they like telecommuting, et cetera. Are you afraid that these new mandates, especially in the finance sector and in the tech sector, which have been the fastest growing parts of New York City, are you afraid that this is going to slow down their return to the offices, which could affect, other small businesses, et cetera, in the city?
Now, this is actually a brilliant question. The first one was garbage. This is a brilliant question. And why is it so brilliant? Because if finance and tech physically don't come back to New York City, and I mean literally drive their cars in or take a bus in or take a train in, whatever, they don't do that, all the support structure that supports them goes away. And I know already the finance sector has already adapted. You've locked them out for a year and a half. Their finance, their job is literally to make money. That literally is their job, just to make money, not to build something. No, not to sell something. Their job is to make money. They weren't going to not make money because you decided that they couldn't come to work anymore. So they found ways to make money from home. If you are wealthy in New York City, for those of you who lived in New York City or do live now, you know this. If you're wealthy in New York City, you have more than one home. You have one in New York City and one someplace else, either upstate New York, Florida, Jersey Shore, Long Island, Hamptons, Connecticut, maybe even Colorado. If you're very wealthy, Colorado, multiple, maybe Texas, but you have a home someplace else if you're wealthy. If you're very wealthy, you have 3 homes if you're very wealthy or more. You have multiple homes. Well, if you didn't have to work in New York City, but you can go to your lovely home someplace else, Jersey Shore, Florida, wherever, you went there. Now you've been working there. Your kids go to school there now when they might not have gone to school there before because you left your New York City school because it was crazy and locking stuff down, but you can go to Florida and just send your kid to school. So your kid goes to school there now. You've been working there now. You're going to come back? You come back to mandates and schools. You're coming back to that. You've been making money for a year and a half. You're not coming back. And when all those wealthy finance people and or tech gurus don't come back, all the people who service them don't. All the dry cleaners, all the delis, right? All the delivery services, all the marketing companies that are here, and they don't come back. And he's making it harder to come back. What most New Yorkers are talking about is actually inflation. That affects all of us. And with inflation being so bad and so hard, how do you buffer inflation? Well, inflation is too much money for the number of goods and services you have. So more people working, more people providing goods and services would at least buffer it. It wouldn't stop it. Most of it comes from the Fed, but it could buffer it. No, he's doing the opposite. He's making it worse. He's making it worse.
It's an important question, Marcia, and I'll tell you, I actually feel very good about what the impact will be. I'll tell you why.
Of course you do. Tell me why.
Because I've heard from so many business leaders, including in those sectors like finance and tech, that the best thing for them is for the government to lead the way. Well, we did lead the way.
You know what finance people always tell me? Best thing is for the government to lead the way. They tell me that all the time. Yeah. All of tech sector. First thing they tell me when they go, best thing to do is government lead the way. I have literally never, ever heard that ever. He just made that up. 100% not true. 100% not true. What are you talking about? So you're a tech guy. You're making some new app. You know what we need? Government to lead the way. Never said by any tech app guy ever. Never. He just made that up. No way. You're a hedge fund. Can't wait for the government to lead the way. That's not what they say. He made that up. And no one's talking to him anyway. No business people talk to him except just if the scared ones that he is, he's crushing.
With the approach to our own employees has been incredibly successful. We led the way with the Key to NYC, reaching with the indoor dining, with the indoor entertainment, showing the larger private sector that in those parts of our economy it could really work for everyone, and it has.
Because we were dumb enough to accept 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That's been 2 years. Then we were dumb enough to accept, you know what? It'll just be restaurants. Now it's everything. We were dumb enough to accept mask mandates. Now it's vaccine mandates. Every time we gave this guy an inch, he took a mile, and he's not done taking. He's not done taking.
And a lot of them recognize that. But it's always better for the private sector if the government sets a single universal standard.
When has that ever been true? See, all right, I don't want to, okay, hold on. I don't want to go nuts. I'm getting triggered. Now we got three things that got me triggered. I don't want to be triggered, so I'm going to chill for a second. A little bit of Zen. When has business said we want a universal standard for everything? Now, there is an exception. There is one exception. When business has a monopoly, then they want one universal standard that is very expensive, very confusing, and very difficult to achieve. So that's true. In the exception of when there is an actual monopoly, monopolies do want that. That's true. So if I was, whatever, the only bus company in the entire city, I would want that. That makes sense. If I was the only, hot dog vendor or hot dog wholesaler in the city, I would want insane rules so no one else could sell hot dogs but me. That makes sense. One standard that I'm perfect for, everyone else is bad. Makes sense. But unless I'm in a monopoly or oligarchy, there's no way I would say that. He's making this up.
So they don't have to have the reality with their employees of saying, hey, this is something we're going to do on our own.
So they don't want to, what companies hate doing? Creating their own policies. Hate that.
This is what a lot have actually asked for in the private sector. One standard that applies to everyone.
Okay. He's kind of right, but for a horrible reason. He's kind of right on this one. I'm always trying to give credit where credit is due. He's kind of right on this one. What happened, for those who don't know, is we were so terrible in the way we punished people. We did things like this. The state would set rules and guidelines that would change literally daily. People would come down and then try to follow it. They couldn't. Inspectors would come down, find holes, and fine people. And they were tired of being fined. They're like, can you just tell us what to do so we can stop being fined? That was the reason why they asked for it, because it was changing so much. And then the worst part is the state had the inspectors coming down, stealing, and I'm going to say it, stealing from small businesses. And then the counties and cities said, whoa, you're going to come down here and steal from our people? Hell no. These are our people. We steal from our people. So I'm not joking. So then they made their own rules locally that were different than the state. So now the local people come in and you're following the state rules. Yeah, but that's not the local rule. So then they fine you. So then they rob you. That was actually happening a year ago. That was literally, ask anyone who was a business owner in New York State, that was actually happening. They were literally coming down and changing things, right? Tim's like, I remember that. Yeah, hold on. See, Tim's on my side. That was literally happening. Yes, absolutely. So when that's happening, they're like, please, just let us know so that we don't get robbed. This was like negotiating with the bandits, right? So the raiders are coming by and burning everything. Like, please, can you just negotiate? Can we just pay you so you don't burn our village to the ground? So in that regard, he's correct. But only, again, because they're hostages. These are prisoners negotiating, can they get enough food? Then yes, he's correct.
I think you're going to see a lot of people embrace it. You're going to see a lot of people make the decision it's time to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
There's also obviously many people
Like
are vaccinated. So for them, they're coming back to the office. They're already vaccinated. That's done. So I really think we're going to see this actually help ultimately, just like you heard when it comes to any other business environment. If people know where they go is going to be safe, it actually encourages them to come back to the office.
I think he believes this. I do. I think he believes this. He believes it.
Office.
Our next question goes to Juliet with 1010 wins.
I'm blown away. He believes it.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Mayor, and everybody on the call. So I guess my question is, how do you plan on enforcing this with private business? Will there be reports that they have to submit, or will inspectors go to the office? How does that work?
Yeah, this is the thing that always bothers me. You always got to have new cops, don't you? And someone's got to pay for those new cops, whoever the COVID cops or whatever the mandate cops, whoever they're going to be with, Department of Health, buildings, cops, whatever. Someone got to pay for that. How are you going to pay for that? I'll tell you how. By the fines and fees they hand out. That is how they pay for it. Someone's got to pay for the nice uniform and a little badge they're going to have, because they always have badges, by the way. It's New York City. Everyone's got a badge. So you got to have a badge.
So, Juliet, we're going to work with the different business communities between now and December 15th to put together those protocols. We'll publish them on December 15th, so it's still well before the mandate takes effect, December 27th. And look, we have a really impressive body of knowledge now from the Key to NYC.
Yes, he's admitting it. You fools, let us have the key to NYC. Now we know how to crush you. You've allowed us to set a precedent. Now, the final blow. Yeah.
There was a lot of dialogue with the business community in advance to figure out ways to improve the approach to educating, providing support. We're going to have that call center for any concerns.
Everything.
You know, we're going to work with people. The goal, of course, is to just get them there in a way that works for them.
No, it isn't.
And
then they would just do it. See, they don't really need you to hold their hand, Dad. It's not required. They could just figure it out. They could.
And really, we found with Key to NYC, overwhelmingly, it's gone smoothly. So we'll work that through. We'll put that on December 15th, but I feel we've got a lot of evidence now that this approach will work.
Yeah, Tim brings up another great one. Tim, you are killing it tonight. They will turn each other in for favor from the administration. Yeah, it's very simple, historically speaking. Yeah, I remember someone, I forgot where I was. I think I was at an event I think it was upstate New York. I think it was, where a guy says, Larry, I'm worried. Or maybe this wasn't. Maybe it was actually on a live. But the guy says, Larry, I'm worried about the guys, in the white van who come out and say, you're sick and they take me away. And I said, I'm not worried about that guy, the guys in the white van. I'm not worried about those guys. He's like, what do you mean? I'm worried about the neighbor who called those guys. That's the one I'm worried about, because someone called those guys on you, and that was the neighbor. And the other neighbor on the other side who won't do anything when they grab you. The reality of it is there's more of us than them. And if we just refuse, they can't take you. But we don't. One neighbor calls, the other neighbor ignores. That's when you go away. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not mad at the government for expanding. That's what governments do. It is in their nature. It's like being mad at a dog for barking. Dogs bark. That's what happens. Don't buy a dog if you don't like dogs barking. Or train your dog if you don't like dogs barking. That's fine. Either one is acceptable answer. But don't have a dog, not train it, and it barks and be mad. That's your fault, right? That's your fault. We have a government that's expanding. Yeah, let's train our government or get rid of it. Either one of those two things is the right answer. I'm trying to at least train it. Get rid of it would be nice. But I'll take either one of those two. So, Tim, you are correct. Absolutely. Doug says a lot of dialogue, more like demands made. I think you got that. I think you got that one, Doug. Yeah, absolutely. Call center for concerns equals turn your competitor line. Turn in your competitor line. Very good, Brian. Oh, see, you and Tim, same page. Exactly. 1-800-YOU-SNITCH. That's exactly right. 1-800-YOU-SQUEAL. That's what it is. I love that. Oh, so good.
Go ahead, Juliet.
Okay, thank you. And would there be penalties for non-compliance?
What? Penalties? Look at him.
Juliet, look, it is part of life that there have to be some consequences, but
it's part of life that I rule you like the Baron that I do. It's just part of life. I don't know why you're upset. Of course. You will do as I say or I will punish you. It's part of life. Look, just accept. I am your ruler. I am the Baron and I am the Burgermeister and I will control my citizens.
I want to emphasize, one, we'll figure out what makes sense.
What makes sense?
By December 15th when we put out the guidelines. But I want to remind you, and we'll get you the latest facts on this. It's been amazing with the key to NYC,
Yeah.
very few times we actually had to penalize people.
See that?
We focused on educating. We focused on warnings and helping people figure out how to do it well.
See, we focused on re-education. What could go wrong? You know what you could do? You could have places where people could go to get re-educated. I don't know, like camps. You could go there if you want to, and you could put people in these re-education camps, right? And for those who just can't get it right and need, to focus better, you can put them in concentration camps. That would be wonderful. You can do that, Wilhelm. What could go wrong? It's like he's writing it for me. He's writing it for me. I'm sorry, guys. This is just terrible. Please, as always, please, I know I say it all the time, and I'll say it again. Please like, comment, share. It does matter. It's important. I hope you do it so that I don't get banned. It does help tremendously to get rid of shadow ban. Absolutely. And of course, if you want to donate, please donate. Love that. LarrySharp.com/donate so I can keep going. And of course, if you want to do crypto, if you're some crypto guy who's got tons of money in crypto, Bitcoin, crypto donations right there. You can hit donate and then click the crypto, or LarrySharp.com/crypto-donate. Donation, I'm sorry, also works if you want to. But of course, please support the people who are supporting this show, the World's Smallest Political Quiz. Click that link and share it and or take it. Let people take it. It's free. It helps tremendously. Liking, comment, and sharing is free. Please, it's free and it helps tremendously. Please do that, making my sponsors happy. And of course, making me happy on top of it. I appreciate that. Yes. Brian says re-education equals brainwashing. Yeah, kind of yes. Guys, we'll say thank you so much for this evening. I appreciate it. I will be back on tomorrow with a special guest. And the guest I'll be talking to will be someone who'll be talking about the damage that these men are doing to actually our criminal justice and prison system. Yes, absolutely. I'll be talking about that tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. I will see you all very soon.